Hey y'all, what's good, beautiful people? It's your girl Tay, and I'm here yet again with another update video. So definitely make sure you guys smash that like button, comment down below, subscribe, plus push your post notification bell button so that way anytime I upload a video, you will be notified. And don't forget to follow me on social media, on Instagram at shebuildshealthywealth.com or whatever it's called on Instagram. I don't know why I just did the .com part because ain't no .com. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about this $6 trillion infrastructure package, or whatever it is that Biden's calling it. There is some information that has been released. Now, this is not the actual legitimate document. This is just one article source, one news source, or whatever it is. So I'm going to be giving you that, as well as the states and their payout dates, because there are more states that have been approved currently for the month of June, and we're talking about the emergency max SNAP benefits for the month of June. And then we've got some cash prizes that California's governor is giving out to those who want to receive or have already received either both doses or one dose of the vaccine. Okay, so jumping right into it, let's talk about this $6 trillion budget. Okay, so it says President Joe Biden on Friday, I guess that's today, proposed a $6 trillion budget for the fiscal year 2022. So laying out details of proposed dramatic increase in federal spending that serves as the underpinning of an economic agenda that seeks to transform the American economy as the country emerges from dual public health and economic crisis. Okay, so there's a lot of different aspects of this. Now, I kind of understand where the I wouldn't say the anger, but the frustration is from a lot of the people in the White House, lawmakers in the White House would oppose him, because $6 trillion, like I said, is a lot. I think us who are still going to be alive when the deficit increases is probably going to pay for this some way, shape, or form. We don't really know in what way, but let's just jump right into it. Okay, this budget is an agenda for robust, durable economic growth and broadly shared prosperity. It will deliver a strong economy now and for the decades into the future, and is an investment in Americans all across the country who power our economy. So that was coming from the acting director of the Office of Management and Budget. Okay, this is what she had to. That's what she had to say about this spending bill. So now let's get down to what's actually in it. So Biden is asking Congress for $932 billion for discretionary non-defense programs for fiscal year 2021. The president has also proposed $756 billion in defense funding. I actually agree with that, because with all of the crap that's been talked from our previous president, and it looks like there's, some back and forth non-positive conversations that are happening between our country and other countries. I definitely think that they need to do all that they can do to protect us, okay? The proposal also calls for spending to increase more than $8 trillion by 2031. It will reduce the annual deficit, though, beginning in 2030, and by increasing amounts in the following years, and would shrink deficits by more than $2 trillion in the subsequent decades. So they're actually talking about how it's going to shrink the current debt around 2030, and then another $2 trillion in decades after that. Now, I know that's a long stretch. 2030, I mean, that's what 9 years away from now. So that's a pretty long stretch. So in between time, I think what everyone's concern is from 2022 to 2000, even now, let's just say from now, 2021 to 2030, why am I talking like that? 2030, the worry is, where is this money going to come from? And how is it going to affect us? Okay? Says the proposal is in line with the previous outline Biden released, known as a skinny budget that was proposed last month. It said he previously had asked Congress for $769 billion for a discretionary non-defense program, which was a 16% increase from our former president Donald Trump's last budget. Okay, so let's get down to the part where it's actually giving us some information. Biden is, you have to applaud his effort, even if you don't necessarily agree. I think that his heart is in the right place. You know what I'm trying to say? it's kind of like when a person thinks that they're helping you, but they're actually harming you, but they're not doing it intentionally. I kind of feel like that. I think some of the stuff that he's talking about bringing to our economy will be really, really helpful now and in the future. But there's a lot of things that I think will hurt us as well within the same time frame. It says Biden has made racial equity, a top focus of his administration, but there is no specific line item in the budget focused on addressing that racial inequality, okay? All right, so with everything else that I have told you, it says in addition to the Americans Job Plan and the American Family Plan, the budget also calls for $36.5 billion for the Title I schools in which children from low-income families make up at least 40% of enrollment. It's a $20 billion increase from 2021 enacted levels. We've got $6.5 billion to launch the Advanced Research Projects Agency for Health, the ARPA-H, a new program aimed at driving innovation in health research that will focus initially on diseases like cancer, diabetes, and Alzheimer's. I agree with that. $8.7 billion in discretionary funding for the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, so basically more money for the CDC. I agree with that. $10.7 billion in discretionary funding in the Department of Health and Human Services, an increase of $3.9 billion from 2021 enacted levels. The proposal also includes $621 million specific to Department of Veterans Affairs and a certain substance. Well, I don't know if I can say it because YouTube has been censoring us a lot, but it's basically money geared towards veterans and substance abuse programs. Okay, an increase of more than $14 billion compared to 2021. $2.1 billion for the Department of Justice to address gun violence, which is an increase of $232 million above 2021 enacted levels. $30.4 billion for housing choice vouchers. Now that's fantastic. The thing with that is, and I'm going to continue, but the thing with these housing vouchers is, we know that they were giving housing assistance to immigrants, right? And there was a lot of you guys who were just like, you need to take care of home first. You running and taking care of everybody else, but what about us? I agree with that. At the same time, I do think that if they need help, they need help. But I do agree, and I'm hoping that this $30.4 billion for housing choice vouchers actually stretches across the United States, because there's a lot of you guys who have been saying the same thing that I have been saying for California. You get on the housing voucher program, which is like Section 8, and you end up waiting on there for years because there's not enough housing properties available. And usually when people move in, you move into a house. If you're lucky enough to get Section 8, I know people who live in a 4-bedroom house, but it's on Section 8, so they don't have to worry about paying their rent, because the majority of that is taken care of by the government. So they may only be paying $50 a month for a 4-bedroom, and they're in no hurry 9 times out of 10 to move out and go out there into the real world and pay $2,500 for the same amount of bedrooms, right? Everybody is just not willing to leave, and for a lot of people that's comfortable and they happy with it. So, and I don't have nothing bad to say about it. I mean, everybody has a right to live however they want to live. My thing is that I just hope and pray that they keep stretching this money that they're putting towards the housing choice voucher program so that a lot more people can benefit from it. You know what I mean? They need to start breaking down this list. Why do we have thousands of people sitting on the list for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, basically don't even get a call? Sometimes people pass away, still on the list, okay? That's one of the things that I think they need to focus on. But moving on. Says $30.4 billion for housing choice vouchers to expand housing assistance to 200,000 additional families, and a $500 million increase for homeless assistance grants to support more than 100,000 households, including survivors of domestic violence and homeless youth. Okay. Now we've got $1 billion for the Department of Justice Violence Against Women Act programs, which is nearly double. I agree with that as well. $861 million in assistance to the Central America. $861 million in assistance to the Central America to address the root causes of irregular migration. Increases the budget of the Executive Office for Immigration Review by 21%. increases funding for the Indian Health Service by 2.2 billion and provides 900 million to fund tribal efforts to expand affordable housing, improve housing conditions and infrastructure, and increase economic opportunities for low-income families. The budget also includes an increase of more than 450 million to facilitate climate mitigation, resilience, adaptation, and environmental justice projects in Indian country. Okay, so this is just a starting point. We know that they're going back and forth. The Democrats are hoping that they will be able to get something passed. I think they said by July or August. They're hoping, and I know that Chuck Schumer has came forward and said that they're going to be able to do that. But I know that the focus right now is that they're trying to do all of this with bipartisan support. Now, I did run across another article that said that the opposition to the Democratic, what they call wish list, they are in the process, if they haven't already, of putting another counter offer out there, which I think was around $1.7 trillion. They had originally did a counter offer of, I think, 568 billion or million, one of them. Now they're going up to $1.7 trillion. So we'll see what comes of that. But so far, I mean, it's a lot of money. It really is a lot of money. And I know one of the ways that Biden was talking about paying for this is by increasing taxes, corporate taxes. And you guys know that there's a lot of people that's sitting on the same side as Stingy Mitch that's against that. They are definitely against it. There's one senator that actually spoke out in this article talking about how he's not willing to increase taxes on corporations. He thinks that it should stay exactly where it is. So for the most part, they want to do this with bipartisan support. That's what President Biden really wants. He wants both the Republicans and the Democrats to get together and come to an agreement on this. However, if they don't come to an agreement, then I'm pretty sure whatever they can get passed, the Democrats can get passed with using the budget reconciliation process, 9 times out of 10, that's what they're going to go for. Okay. Now, let me talk to you guys about this. I can't even say what I want to call it, but this foolery from our governor in California. Okay, so it says Gavin Newsom announces people who get newly vaccinated will get a $50 gift card. Okay, the program will set aside $2 million $50 gift cards for anyone 12 years or older who gets newly and fully vaccinated. Okay, the program seeks to distribute all the cards before June 15th. So if you guys didn't already know, for California, June 15th is when I believe they're supposed to lift the mask mandates to make it to where you don't have to wear masks anymore. So they want to get rid of all these cards because in their mind, if people come forward and actually show proof that they've been vaccinated, and they're giving out incentives to make sure that the majority of the people in this state gets vaccinated or whatever, then they'll be entered to get one of these gifts, okay, by June 15th, because that's when they want to hopefully open up the entire state. It says additionally, on Friday, June 4th and Friday, June 11th, the state will conduct drawings to award $50,000 to 30 individuals who've already received at least one dose of the vaccine. On June 15th, the state will hold an additional drawing awarding $1.5 million to 10 individuals who's gotten at least one dose of the vaccine. Now, here's my problem with this. You got $1.5 million to give to 10 individuals, right? Then we got $50,000 to give to 30 individuals. Plus, you have $2 million $50 gift cards to give to people, right? In my mind, why can't you just take all of this money and give out more stimulus to the people? Or we were just talking about housing. Why can't you put that money towards the housing? And this is the stuff that, if anything, this is the type of stuff that bothers me. You have money to give $1.5 million to only 10 people when you can stretch that 1.5 times 10 amount of money and give that to more than just 10 people. You know what I mean? If you got money like that, then why aren't you giving $5,000 stimulus, $10,000 stimulus, even if it's a one-time payment? Why don't you stretch it out like that? I don't understand this. I really don't understand this. And that actually made me upset. I've been pretty supportive, I think, in my own way of, what's his name? Gavin Newsom, as of lately, because he's been receiving a lot of backlash from the public. A lot of the residents out here in California have already pretty much signed a petition to recall him. So I'm just really not understanding what happened here. and there's nobody, I mean, you don't work with a team, you know what I mean? Two heads are better than one. I feel like someone who has some sense should have been able to tell him, why would you only give $10, no, $1 million to 10 people when you can get, now see, when you can give more money to a lot more people, if that makes any sense. Y'all excuse my son, he back there trying to talk into the fan. But anyways, moving on, there's definitely a whole heck of a lot more that I wanted to talk to you guys about today, but I think that's pretty much it. Y'all let me know, especially for people who are in California, what you think about this new plan that Gavin Newsom, I mean, he is attempting to get another plan passed where he's able to give, what was it, $1,100 for households who have dependents, and then $600 again to people as a stimulus payment for California. But that hasn't been approved yet, and now he's giving out this amount of money. I mean, the reality is, here's one, I'm gonna say this one last thing. Another reason why this is upsetting to me is because there's a lot of people who actually may want to get the vaccine, but they can't because they have underlying health conditions that prevent them. You know what I mean? If they have severe allergies, there's a lot of ingredients in the vaccine, as with any of the other vaccines. The flu vaccine and all of that, it warns you of eggs and shellfish and stuff like that. There's people who's actually allergic to that stuff can't get those vaccines, right? People who have underlying health conditions can't get the vaccine. So that means that they don't even have a chance to win this money. You know what I mean? I just think that it's a waste of time. But anyways, moving on, before I give you guys the names of the states that have been approved currently for emergency SNAP Max benefits for the month of June, I did want to let you guys know, I think you guys, let me just check my phone really quick, but there was a couple of you guys that said that your state did not receive the benefits when on the date that I said that you would get them. Now, I did put this in the video yesterday, and I actually showed that state on the U.S. Department of Agriculture saying July, what month are we in? May 27th, I'm sorry. Yeah, I live in Columbus, Ohio. I did not get my May food stamps. Okay, so it says on the website May 27th. However, there was a subscriber or a viewer that put it in the comments that they checked the website and it said that it was going to be on May 29th. So that is tomorrow. So check your cards tomorrow for Ohio to see if you get that emergency SNAP Max allotments for the month of May. This is for May, okay? I do apologize. That's the name. That's the date that's on the actual website. As you guys can see, that's why I showed you. So it wasn't a date that I just chose and decided to give it to you, okay? But anyways, moving on. For the month of June, emergency max SNAP benefits, we've got some more states that have been approved, so I'm going to give you that now. We have California for July 17th, Colorado June 5th through the 10th, D.C. will be given with their regular issuance, Hawaii July 12th, Iowa June 1st through the 10th with regular issuance, Kansas July 15th through the 24th, Maine June 10th, Michigan June 12th through the 22nd, Mississippi June 2nd, Missouri June 1st through the 22nd. It says with your regular issuance cycles. Montana will be distributing benefits in 2 phases, but they will all be distributed between June 2nd and the 7th, okay? New Jersey June 1st through the 5th. North Carolina, June 22nd through the 30th, and then a final run July 1st. Ohio, June 24th. Oregon, June 10th, 29th, and July 1st. Pennsylvania, June 16th through the 18th, the 22nd through the 26th, the 29th, the 30th, and then a final run August 6th. Vermont, July 15th, Virginia, June 16th, Washington, regular issuance dates, West Virginia, July 14th, Wisconsin, June 12th and August 7th, and then Wyoming, June 1st through the 5th, with new applications being providing those benefits the day after their case has been approved. All right, you guys, so I hope, as always, this information was helpful or useful, but I'm going to say to you guys, remember to live, love, and elevate, and I will definitely see you guys in the next video. Peace, people.